Hello everyone and welcome back to Brooksburk Zoo. Let's have a look at our zoo map, and you can already see that the Garden of the Origins is going to be just as it looks at this point. It's going to be the biggest part in the zoo that we built already. And in today's episode we are going to continue exactly there. But first of all, let's fly through the area and have a look at what we did in the last episode. We're flying across our Swan Lake on the left side with the restaurant and the area for our weasand and the fallow deer and the wild boar. On the right, the habitat for our wolverines, and right in front of us is our newest addition to this area, the habitat with the overpass for the wolves. Yes, and in today's episode we are going to continue right across the bigger habitat of the wolves, and we are going to build something for some herbivores again, for the Takin, which is one of the most beautiful animals that we got in this game, and I so love them because the models of these animals look so beautiful. And as I thought that this area is going to be pretty big and we still have lots of animals to add in here, I thought it would make sense if we would have another staff area as well. So I thought when we are going to build the habitat for the Takin, we are going to add some staff buildings in there as well, and we are going to prepare for another habitat which we are going to build in the next episode. I think I told you guys that I thought about European ibex, that it would make sense to have them in here as well, because this is going to be something like a little bit of an alpine area. So with lots of rock work and with some kind of an alpine vibe. So I thought what we are going to build is the staff area in the middle of the building, and then the shelter for the Takin on the left side, so that it continues the vibe of the wolf habitat. And then we are going to have another shelter for the European ibex on the right side, which you can see right now where I built the entrance gate. I just had to make the building a little bit bigger so that we could actually fit the entrance gate for the ibex habitat in there as well. Yeah, and all of the stuff that is happening right now is nothing new to you guys. You know, building the skeleton for the skeleton for our building, having those shelters for the animals a little bit smaller than the actual main building for the staff. Yeah, that's also why I cut lots of that stuff out of the video, because you guys already know how this works, how I do this stuff, so that we are not going to see every little step that I do in here. So for those that are interested, this whole build this time took me about 2.5 to 3 hours, so it was not that time consuming. I think if once you're into something and you know how it works and what you want to do, makes things go pretty fast, I think. Yeah, so after today's episode we are going to build a habitat for the ibex in the next one. And then I think we are going to do the habitats for the sloth bear and the Siberian tigers afterwards. And I think the last habitat that we are going to build in this area is going to be for the saiga. I want to have a big taiga habitat or savanna habitat for them, so that we can have a huge group of the saiga in there, because they're in a natural environment in Russia. Yeah, I think it is Russia. They do have herds of millions of these animals, so they are in huge groups. So we're not going to have millions of them in here, but yeah, I want to have a nice big group of those animals in here as well. I'm already preparing the shelter for the ibex as well, but we're not going to finish it completely, so that we have a little bit of work to do in the next episode. But next episode is definitely going to be a little bit shorter, because things will go so much faster, because we already have prepared everything that we need in here. Preparing some windows so that it is not too dark in the shelter for our animals. Just doing these wooden frame pieces here and having this non-see-through glass pieces in here as well. And then just selecting them into a group and copying those windows around all across the building. And I have not done anything inside of the building, so a kind of stuff area or something like that. Maybe we're going to do that in the next episode, because we will have lots of time to prepare something for the inside as well, so that we are going to have some walls in there and some decoration or stuff like that. Yeah, because in the end, when we are finished with Brooksburk Zoo, I want to tell all the guys that are doing tours in there that they can visit every backstage area as well, because there's always something in there. Yeah, the whole building looks a little bit simple. At that point I didn't know if I want to do something more about it to decorate it a little bit, but I think in the end, when it is finished, everything looks pretty good, so we don't have to do anything. Maybe some of those dirt pieces or those patterns that you can put on the building, but yeah, nothing more than that, I think. So preparing the habitat, I wanted to have this dry mode in there once again, so that we have this kind of natural barrier in here, so that we can get pretty close to the animals and we don't have to have a huge fence, so that you can watch the animals yeah, pretty kind of a barrier free. And yeah, the dry mode makes this possible. We're going to decorate it with many rocks later on. Yeah, and I also did something by accident in here, which is a very nice and cool feature that you might see in any realistic habitats for mountain hoofstock. Because you can see right away in a minute or so that we do have this hill right next to the shelter for the Takin, and we are going to have some rockwork around it as well, and the rockwork is almost on the same height as the building is, so that the Takins are able to walk onto the roof of the building. I didn't plan that, but in the end I'm very pleased about it, because it's pretty cool, and I can remember I have seen things like this somewhere. Thinking about Paradisa, they do have a restaurant building where they do have goats on the roof of the building, because they do have a grass roof, and the goats are on that building and eating the grass on the building. But I think I've seen stuff like that for other animals as well. So yeah, I'm very happy with that, and might get into that later on, because I just discovered that at the end of the video when I was recording the tour, and I have seen that one of the Takin was standing on the roof of the shelter. So I might get back into that, because I don't want to have the Takins be able to walk on the roof of the main building as well, which they in theory might be able to, but that is something that I don't want. This would not be that realistic. So be able to walk on the shelter in their own habitat, okay, but not any further. Yeah, lots of rock work to be done. First of all, I thought we will have the backdrop with the rocks just at some parts of the habitat, but in the end I decided no, I wanted it to be all around the habitat. That makes it look way better. Yeah, we're already at the point where I put down all these artificial rocks again. Coloring the terrain with the dirt color, or soil as it is called. Yeah, and I think it already looks pretty natural in here. And I really love the look of this habitat, and I hope I can continue this look with the habitat for the ibex as well in the next episode. So time for some fencing for our animals, and especially for our visitors, because the Takin won't be able to jump out the habitat with the dry mode that is in here. Pretty simple one, just like the one that we had for our big habitat for the wild boar and fallow deer. Just a little bit smaller than that. Yeah, because the animals can't walk right up to the fence. Yeah, and looking at the point where I'm placing those signs, I always wanted to do a tutorial for you guys where I show you how I do make these custom signs with the Canva app. It is still in my mind and I still plan on doing that. I just have little performance issues with Canva from time to time, so I'm just waiting for it to work a little bit more fluently so that I can show you guys how it is done, because it's pretty easy and it makes such a difference if you do some custom signs in your zoos as well. And actually you can use those custom signs but still have the signs be educational for your guests in your zoos, because as you can see, I have the in-game signs right here for the timber wolf, but you can change the picture of that into your custom signs. So that means that you still have the educational character for your signs, but a different picture on them. Yeah, and here you can already see what I meant with the roof of the building, that it is almost on the same level as the terrain in here, which makes it possible for the animals to step on that roof and have a little climb on there. And you all might have noticed that I'm not talking too much in this video today. That is because I have some health issues right at the moment with my jaw. I don't know what is going on, but my jaw hurts a little bit and it feels like it is a little bit under pressure from time to time. Yeah, I just don't know what's going on. It's not that painful, but it is very annoying, I have to say, and feels almost like like my jaw is working or doing something, and that's why everything is under pressure. So most of the time when I get out of bed in the morning, everything seems to be pretty okay. But during the day it gets worse, and just have an appointment for the dentist in 2 weeks. So let's hope it gets better from alone until that, because 2 weeks again with this is just but that's the reason that I'm not talking too much in today's episode. I hope you guys are okay with that. But what I don't have to forget is you guys know that this is the perfect time right now to hit the like button for this video. I forgot that at the beginning of the video once again. So hit the like button just right now, and also do subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any further episodes here on Brooksburk Zoo or on my new projects that are coming to this channel very, very soon. Yeah, we are almost finished with the habitat here. So we just have to build a door or some kind of a gate for the animals. This is always something that is a little bit tricky. Because you never know if the door is wide enough, if it is high enough for the animals to actually enter your habitat or leave the shelter in the end. So it's for me always something like yeah, just try and be aware that you could fail at this point. But once again, spoiler alert, we didn't fail this time. And here I did something that I didn't do in quite some time, I think. I made this gate functional so that you actually could move it. Once the animals are in there, you actually could move it, so they have to stay inside or they have to stay outside and can't come into the shelter. So that is pretty easy to do that. You just have to deselect it from the building, so that this is one building part that you added into a group, and yeah, so that you are able to move it from left to right in the end. You will see that in a second, I guess. Yeah, so it is finished, and now we can move the whole thing. Yeah, you saw it. So we can open and close it anytime. So the last step, just putting some plants into the ground. The typical ones that I'm always using, Aristidia grass and creosote bush. And in the end, just some dead trees for decoration. And I think 2 or 3 trees that are still alive, and that's completely all. Doesn't need any more in there. Yeah, and once again, in one of my last videos, Anik Mandra was asking if I'm just using the same rock again and again. Yes, I do. And actually the whole build in here, the whole rock work is just done with one single rock that I always yeah, moved and turned around and put it in a different angle in here. So it's just one single rock all the time. It's rock number 2, I guess. Yeah, it's rock number 2 that I'm always using. And yeah, especially those artificial rocks in the end. Okay, 2 different rocks, but the big one, the natural ones, always rock number 2. It's very seldom that I'm using a different rock. So maybe sometimes when I'm building something like a waterfall or something, and I have to cover up the shapes of the artificial waterfall. So yeah, that's a part when I'm going to use different rocks, but most of the time it's just rock number 2. Yeah, and we are almost done with everything in here. We have some animal enrichment items in here. We have enough plants. We just need a natural water supply in here. Putting rocks and grass a little bit more down. Having the water be a little bit dirty and look natural. And here we are in the real-time part, flying through our Takin to our Takin habitat. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did so, don't forget, this is the second best time for you guys to hit the like button, to subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoyed it, I hope you will tune in next week as well, when we are going to build a habitat for the European ibex here in Brooksburk Zoo in the Garden of the Origins. So enjoy the rest of the video, the footage of the animals and our new habitat, and see you guys next week. Bye!